Internet, what is really, really, really good? You know who it is? It's the one and the only, the triple, the G.O.D. And of course, I'd like to welcome you guys back to another installment of Triple the Guy Speaks On. And yo, I just want to just take a couple of minutes of my time. And I want to talk about the 2012 incarnation of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoon because, yo, I'm like, this show has been doing dirt since day one. And it's like, I'm going to be honest. I had my initial doubts about the return of the Turtles, given of how Nickelodeon owns it now and all the extra stuff. I'm like, hell, the thing that kind of weirdly, oddly scared me was when they were on 106 in Park trying to push this show. Like, Nickelodeon was going dumb Amsterdam on this shit. Like, we want you to watch this. And it was like, y'all pushing this a bitch too much for me, and I don't know. And I was like, not for real. And I was seriously like, I don't know about this. This is kind of weird. But I sat down and I gave the show a chance. And it's like I'm sitting here 4 seasons in, and I'm happy that I did that. I am very happy because the thing that I love about this show is that it's everything I love about this franchise within this show. It's like this show plays with conventions, introduces new things in a way that makes it compelling television to watch. And it is. It's like we've 4 seasons in, and it's like I say this a lot on like my reviews of like Kamen Rider and my reviews of the Super Sentai and stuff like that, but these are characters that have grown from when we started with season 1 to where the story is now, with season 5 gonna be ramped up any day now. Is I have to sit up here and I have to commend everyone who works on this show. It's like this show knows its reference material, isn't scared to throw shots. I'm like, yo, I remember when Seth Green became Leonardo, right? They took 2 seconds out the show to sit up here and say, yo, bro, your voice alright? They sat up here and rode around like Leo got his motherfucking shit pushed in to sit up here and change, like, well, my voice backed up because, Shredder forced up my voice box, and I was like, yo, I'm like, hell, in one of the last episodes of season 4, it's like, in like the second or third time I can remember, they threw shade at Carter from season 8 of the 1987 cartoon. Like, they straight threw shade at this cat. And it's like, and the show has gone out of its way more than once to throw shade at him. More than once to throw shade at Carter. Poor Carter, no one remembers him but me. I'm like, hell, when they said they were introducing Lord Dreg, I was like, huh? Like, y'all remember he exists? Like, and then did something amazing with him. It's like Peter Stormare killed it. You know what I'm saying? They did something original with a character, he was a alright Saturday morning cartoon villain, but I'm like, I watched the 87 cartoon back in the day to the end, and I don't really remember much about those Red Sky seasons, even though in recent memories I went back and rewatched them, and I was kind of like, I don't know about that. But I'm like, I say, this show is not afraid to take what's already there and introduce new things and turn things on its head in conventions. It's like, this is just an amazing show, and if you haven't watched it yet, you should. I'm like, I don't want to get into talk about story. I don't want to talk about spoiler topic. I don't want to do nothing like that. This is just me just putting my voice on wax and just saying how much of an amazing cartoon and how much of an amazing ride and what I would like to call this act, because it's been these 4 seasons and it's been this gradual growth, and the way that season 4 ended, it's like you could put that all in a box and sit up here and see that this is this first level of growth of the Turtles, and you can see where it is that we're going with this. It's like, I want more of this. I do. And it's like season 5 looking like it's gonna be that dirt. It's going to be that dirt. Again, I will say this. If you are even a modicum of a fan of the franchise, and you sit up here and you gave it a try or you didn't at all, you should, because the show gets wonderful in a way. And it's like, and there are some things that I can get into where the story gets a little bit weird, and it gets weird for the sake of the story, but it's kind of like you look at this and you just kind of like, Really now? You don't say. And it's like, and it ain't like that, but it's like the show did some things where at first it was kind of like, what? And then, but once the show did it, and it did it in a way that it was like, oh, I got you now. Okay, I fucked with you. I got this. And I'm like, okay, cool. It's like, and like I said again, this show plays around with it, with the history of this franchise and things that you know and the things that you don't, and puts it all together in this wonderful stew. And it's like when you catch it, like I talked about earlier, like throwing shade at a character no one knows exists. Like the show took its time to throw shade at a character nobody knows exists. This show takes the time to adapt characters from the comic books and put them in the show and make them as uniquely as different as anything else. It's like the only thing like I can really say is that, well, what I was finna say something like the video games ain't been as good, at least as they relate to the show. They've been alright. It's like I have not played Danger of the Ooze yet, and it's like, and it's a way forward joint, so I'm wondering like, why the fuck didn't I play that yet? But seeing as that game is delisted, the only way you can get it now is buy a copy off something. So we're gonna have to get around to do that. And it's like I heard the game was hot because it was because from what I understood and remember, that the game was supposed to be like an homage to the Game Boy version of Teenage Mutant Turtle 3. The one where everybody gets kidnapped or something. That's supposed to be this weird pre-Metroidvania, even though Metroidvania isn't the correct word you use for titles like that. But still, regardless, this is an amazing television show. If you haven't watched it or you gave it a chance and you was kind of like, nah, you need to go back to it. It's just that. I'm not finna sit up here and break down characters or do nothing like that. Say that for when the series is over. Right now, I just wanted to just say that, yo, I just finished season 4. The way it ended, it's like this show, because it's like this show. It's like, that's all I can say, because I could try to finish the sentence. It wouldn't help you or me, but I just wanted to just get on the mic and say, like, this show is doing the damage. And if you haven't watched it, you really, really should take the time out and give it a try. If you haven't, and if you haven't, you were kind of jaded, give it another. Give it another with a clear mind. It won't hurt you. It won't hurt you at all. It's like everything about this show is on point. It's like the writing on point, the voice acting is on point, animation on point. It's just on point. That is it. That is all. I can't wait for season 5. It's like the only downside to this and other shows I watched, such as Star vs. the Force of Evil, and of course Steven Universe, and all that other stuff I watched that are delved into that magical little cycle of how we put children's cartoon programming on TV, is of you have to sit up here and you have to sit up here and keep up with shit. And it's been my complaint for years, and it will continue to be my complaint till I fix it, because when I was a kid, I don't remember ever having these issues. When I grew up, it's like you knew. It's like you watched it, because it's like, but back in the day, you watched enough TV to know that this is going to be on, this is with the win. I hardly turn on my TV. It's like stuff records on my DVR when it's new, and then I have to remember that, oh shit, I recorded something, because I don't check my DVR like that. So it's like, I understand why they do it, because the focus of who you're aiming it at, it ain't me, because back in the day, all we used to do, there weren't really no distractions. It's like you had TV or you had video games or you went your motherfucking ass outside. Now it's phones and internet and this and this and that, and you have to find a way to make everything an event to make people pay attention. That's just the way of our world now. The world and the magic of instant gratification. So it just is what it is. It's like I have this complaint every time I talk about Power Rangers, and this is no different. And Steven Universe and Star and all other shows, it's no different. No different with how this stuff is marketed to children, and me as a grown ass fucking man, and it's just like, can y'all just sit down, have a day where y'all show the cartoon just like all my other stuff come on, but like at the same time, that's just as fucking crazy, because I'm like, Gotham won't be on for like another forever. They show 3 episodes, like, man, we going away for like 4 months now, man, I hope this L, and I'm like, fuck. So it's just a general magical mystical problem. I don't know, but the overall option point is, and I'll repeat it one more time, every single thing this show does is on point. If you haven't watched it or you was jaded on the initial watch, come back to it, give it another try, and that's all I'm asking. And I just wanted this on wax, man. I just cannot wait for March 19th. It's going down. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get up out of here. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gone because by the time you guys have seen this, you probably know that I got that Fire Pro Wrestling World joint up. That's going to be in the streets for you in a minute. And we got the reviews of the usual suspects and all that good stuff. And we got some more crack coming. So, with that being said, I'm going to get up out of here for real. You know who it is. It's the one and the only, the G.O.D. And I'd like to thank you for joining me for another installment of Triple the God Speaks On. And with that, Cowabunga! And yeah. I just said that.